got a problem with my lawnmower. The other day I was mowing and all of a sudden blades wasn't turning, and I noticed the blade engagement lever there wasn't really doing anything. So it turns out I've got a broken blade engagement cable. We're going to replace that. This is a Craftsman T2400 mower. It's made by Husqvarna, but this procedure is pretty much going to be the same for most mowers. So go ahead and watch this and you can probably pick up how to do it on your mower. I ordered the part on Amazon for mine. I'll put it in the description if you're interested in getting one. Anyway, let's get started. First step is going to be to take off the deck. I've got another video I'll put up here and in the description talking about how to take off the deck if you're not familiar. I'm not going to show that in this video. This video is strictly going to be about replacing the cable. Let's get going. We got the deck off. And you can see right here, here's the other piece of the cable's over there, but it just goes to this deal right here. There's a little clip so you can kind of push in to pull it through that, and then it just comes off the little hook there. I'm going to go ahead and take that off, and then I'm going to bring this over to the edge of the garage and get a blower and see if I can blow most of this gunk off. I need to do a better job of blowing that off every time I mow, but anyway, we're going to see if we can get it cleaned up now real quick. All right, we got this cleaned up. Looks a whole lot better. Like I said, I really should do that every time I mow. Go ahead and blow that off and keep it clean under there. We got the deck off. So getting the cable on the deck side is the easy part. But now, luckily, we still got this cable in place, so we can kind of trace it and see where it comes out. And then we can see how to replace it. You can see it goes to right here, and that's where it mounts to connect to this cable. You see there's a hole right there for the cable to come up through. So that makes it really easy. Of course, I've got an audience while I'm trying to do this. The kittens are over here playing. Mom's trying to get their attention and they're just ignoring her, of course. Okay, and here is the part. So just as we saw before, the piece with the big long spring here, that goes down on the mower deck. And this piece right here is the one that's going to go up top and attached to the right back there. So the cable, and even there you can see how much that cable is frayed over time. It's not that old. I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove this top cover, or at least pull it away a little bit so we can get a better view of what we're looking at here. It's T25 driver. And there's one screw right back here. Barely get in there with this extension on there. Okay, but you see that still really won't come up a lot. So we're gonna need to pop the steering wheel off here and take the steering wheel off, but that's a pretty easy process too. All right, so this little cover here just pops off. All right, we got a 3/4 inch nut on there. I'm gonna try to hold this and use the impact driver to break it loose. That is pretty frozen on there. I may have to get some WD-40 or something to drop down in there. Oh, there we go. Got it loose. Just needed one more try. Then we're gonna pull the steering wheel off. Make sure we keep all this stuff together so we don't lose it. And now we can at least get this loose enough that we can see down in there. I mean, there's still stuff holding it down, but we can at least kind of get under there so we can get our hand in there and work a little bit. All right, I think if we go ahead, loosen this and get this out of there. And this is just like the one at the bottom. There's two little pins you push. You can see right here, if you push each of those, the thing just slides out. Well, that didn't give us much more room, did it? But we can still kind of pull it so we can see what's going on there. Let me make sure I got a good view on the camera. All right. So here's the cable coming in. So you can see there's a spring here that ties to the mechanism there that when you turn the handle. So if we undo that spring, that will loosen up. There's a washer and then there's the cable. So we're gonna have to, again, let me check my camera angle and then we'll take that spring off. And I don't know if you can hear that in the background. The rooster's crowing and then the dogs are howling when the rooster crows. All right, if you can see that good right there, we're just gonna pull our hand in there and pop that spring loose. And then once we do that, the washer itself comes off and the end of that cable comes off. Make sure I keep that washer. And now we're going to take this cable down through here. Just go ahead and pull it all the way out. Again, it just kind of rides up along the inside of that. Let me take this off of the side here just so you can see a little bit better. So literally, that is just going to come up in here. Now there's this hole here that we had where we came through earlier. We're going to go ahead and pull that up through the hole. All right, I know the sun's making this difficult to see here, but okay. I'm gonna run this through here. And again, that just kind of pulls into place and clicks in with those two pieces there. And once it's here, it's gonna go on this. I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me rearrange the camera one more time. All right, so this is gonna go on the little piece there. Then there's the washer that goes on it. And then the spring is kind of what holds that ring and the washer in place. That's it. You can see there how that works. Now obviously that'll be tensioned on the other end, so it won't be any leftover like that. All right, now let's go back down and we'll route this through and pull it into the deck and get that hooked up. All right, and we can go ahead and put this piece together. And the cable just kind of goes, so there's a little gap right here, and that's where the cable goes through to come back out into the. So now we've got it down here where we can take it into the deck. So let's go ahead and get the deck and we'll push it back under here and get it all connected. Grab the cable and go up under here. Now, the way it's gonna have to go, pull that out of the way. Just like last time, there's a little clip here. So we're gonna push that in there and it kinda, I'm gonna do it in the top so it's easier to unclip. And once we kinda get that, we'll have to pull this wire over here and connect it to that. Let me see if I can get a better shot of that. All right. It's hard to get the camera to go down there. So again, the cable comes in there, clicks in this piece right here, and then here's the spring off of it. And you know what would be easier is if I undid this part first. Now that I think about it. All right, I took the cable off of that piece first. So I think what will be easier is I bring the spring over here and try to click it into place. There we go. Then I can come here and you can kind of pull this bracket and drop it in there. Perfect. So now we're on. So, and you can see there's not enough room here to really get this out of the way of the pulleys at this point. So we're gonna need to go ahead and completely push the deck back in there. It's just, I really had to leave it out here to make sure I could get that cable on and to make sure I could show you guys what I was doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and push it back in there and then we'll see how we can route this and hopefully get it out of the way. All right, I got the deck back on. Now you can see with the deck under there, to really hook that up, I didn't have a lot of space, but now I've got plenty of space that I can put this. And there actually, if I remember right, there used to be a piece right there that had something to hold that cable that has long since gone. But I think it's going to be in better shape leaving it right there. And that still gives me room to raise and lower the deck with no problem. So I think we're good there. All right, we're going to go ahead and get the cover back together here. And there's 5 screws, T25. And now let's get the steering wheel back on. Try to get it as straight. Make sure your wheels are fairly straight, and then get the steering wheel where you want it. Put the washer back on, the nut back on. Oh, that is not good. I'm gonna go find some oil, make sure I have a shot at getting that off again next time. Spray a little WD-40 on there. Let that soak a minute, and then we'll go ahead and put the nut on. We'll go ahead, get this nut on there. It is still pretty tight, but oh well. Perfect. Put the little cover back on. If that was a car, I'd be honking a horn right there. But all right, so in this video, we replaced the blade engagement cable. You can see it had a couple of problems. Ironically, the spring was still in decent shape on this one. But you can see it was starting to fray a little bit right there. But the cable itself broke, and actually had another spot in it that was wear. And I think this had just gotten on the inside of that little barrier we showed earlier. And it was by the pulleys, so it was constantly getting rubbed. But if you're interested in the one that I just got, check out a link in the description. I'll put down an Amazon associate link there for you. I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, let me know. And this is also a good time to go ahead and subscribe. I know sometimes when you're looking at these kind of videos, you don't necessarily subscribe. I've got a lot of mower repair videos, everything from taking the deck off, the drive belt replacement, the belt keeper, all kind of the drive components taken off and replaced. So, you know, hopefully if you go ahead and subscribe, then when you are looking for something, another one of my videos will pop up and it'll be a help to you. Appreciate you guys watching.